my goodness. Hello, hello, everyone. How are you doing? Please say hi in the comment section. Let me know where you're joining me from. Hi, everyone. I am Ingrid Luster. I am a digital accessibility expert and founder at Linoratech. This session is meant for us to collaborate, for me to share with you and to hear from you. So please don't feel shy. I like to describe myself just because in the audience, sometimes we have people with low vision, or we have people who are blind, or people with visual disabilities or limitations. Hi, I am a black woman. I'm always laughing. I'm actually very, like, I love to smile all the time. Even when I'm going through tough time, believe me or not, sometimes I cry, of course. I am currently rocking some long, wavy braid hairstyle. I think that's how they call it. They're like brown and black. And I'm wearing orange. It looks red, but it's an orange suit and a black and white, I would say, blouse. And that's about it for me. It's just a matter of preference for me to kind of describe myself. Some people love to do it just to give a little bit of hint for inclusion to everyone, but it's just a preference. All right, so today's topic is really about, are you trying to avoid lawsuits, as I hear oftentimes in businesses, or are you working toward attracting more clients, which can be quite exciting? So, if you're joining me for the first time, please don't feel shy. Just say hi in a comment. I promise I can see everything, hopefully. Let me see. Sometimes I need to track down things on LinkedIn. So, I have my monitor and I'm looking on the other side as well. But please, yes, just feel free to say hi and let me know where you're joining me from. So when we talk about accessibility and trying to, avoid lawsuit, I believe that there have been an increase in lawsuit a little bit around for many reasons, and I want to kind of share a little bit of light around these reasons. It's quite interesting. When I started my journey in accessibility, many businesses and organizations thought that the disability market was actually a small market, a market which may not be, big enough to care for. But the truth is that the accessibility market is quite large. I don't know if you know the number. Let me know in the comment. How large do you think the accessibility market is? I see someone commenting. Let me just check that quickly. Oh, I see Amy. Amy say here. Thanks God it's Friday, y'all. Yes, Amy, I'm super happy you're here. And yes, I'm happy it's Friday as well. So please let me know. Do you know the size of the disability market? Just take a wild guess. Do you think is 1 million, 1.3 billion? you know just share with me, how big is that market? For the longest time, most businesses did not want to cater to people with disabilities because they thought the market was just so small. But actually there are more than 1.3 billion people in the world with a disability. And what is quite interesting is that this number does not even reflect you know the real statistic, because it doesn't take into account, for example, the aging population with their own limitations when it comes to abilities. It doesn't take into account people with temporary disabilities. It doesn't take into account people with episodic disability, which means that it's a disability that comes and goes over the time. There are so many disabilities, and even some people have an invisible disabilities, but they don't even know about it for now. So it's quite interesting. There are more than 1.3 billion people with a disabilities in the world. That's a huge market. I see someone also commenting. Let me see. Ooh, Justin. Hi, Justin. Justin said 2 billion people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that number is quite correct or even more than that. According to the WHO, the World Health Organization, there are more than 1.3 billion people in the world with a disability. But again, this number, I think it's bigger than that. But I love that you share that, Justin. Thank you so much. One other thing that most organizations think is that, well, even if the numbers are big, is it really gonna, translate into money? Is it gonna be a good investment to create experiences, right? Or digital platforms that are inclusive and accessible to those with a disability, you know? And the answer is yes. Do you know what is the disposable income of those with disabilities with their network, meaning friends, family, co-workers, community? Again, can you take a wild guess? How much, is the disposable income of people with disabilities in the world? Take a wild guess. Do you think is 10 million? Do you think is 18 trillion dollars USD? Oh my goodness, that's a big number. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Do you think is maybe what? 2 billion? Let me know again. Just take a wild guess. Play with me. When I saw the number, I was so surprised. I was like, wait a minute. This is crazy. That's a big chunk of money. I see someone else is commenting. Let me see. And again, don't feel shy. Share your comment and share your thought, ask your questions. Again, I'm here to listen, to talk with you. This is like our little 30 minute to discuss and open up. So don't feel shy, just do that. I see Amy said it's increasing, but in 2020 an estimated 43 million people were blind. See, I love that you're breaking down this number, because as we're talking about people with disabilities, there are so many diverse disability out there, and I love what you're sharing, Amy. And 295 billion people had moderate to severe visual impairment. Oh my goodness, and that's worldwide. So love that. I'm gonna read that even more. And so if you are joining from LinkedIn, please check Amy comment. It makes so much sense. It's just incredible. I'm gonna read the last line from Amy. The number is expected to increase significantly, with projection indicating 61 million people with will be blind, and nearly 500 million will have MSVI by 2050. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know for sure that I don't have a magic wand, and so I am aging, and so with aging, you will see that 50% of people who are aging will lose some abilities. I want to be lucky and be on the other 50%, but that's just life. And so I love the statistic that you're sharing, Amy. Thank you so much. I see a few more comments. I see Mahip is here. Hi, Mahip. Let me see your comment. Mahip said 15 million in disposable income. Ooh, this is a big number, Mahip. I love it. I see Justin said, let me see, it could be a lot if you are including the family members of the elderly. That's so true, Justin. Actually, there are 18 trillion USD in disposable income. 18 trillion. I was like, wait a minute, that is a big chunk of money. And most businesses are still wondering if they need to serve client with a disability. This is incredible. The amount that you can earn by attracting people with disabilities along with friends and family, along with networking, along with community. It's a big chunk. Imagine someone with, for example, blindness. We want to book, you know, I would say a cruise, or they want to fly, or they want to go somewhere for a wedding, right? And they are in charge of booking, and your site is not inclusive, it is not accessible, it has so many barriers. Guess what? Some people will say, well, somebody else will book the cruise. No, most of the time nowadays people are trying to create inclusive experiences for their friend and family. So if they know that there are few people who have a disability in the group, they will try to look for a more inclusive and accessible, brand. They will look for a business who are really committed to creating inclusive experiences for all. And it's so easy to check if a website or a business is inclusive. You know, it is so easy to see that. I see a few more comments. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I see Amy said, Justin, absolutely. Oh, yes, so true. One of the things that I've noticed happening again and again as well, when we are talking about the large market of people with disabilities, in addition to the disposable income, we already see that, hey, there is something here. There is a need to attract these clients. There is a need to create a brand which can be trusted by these clients. And so that goes to say, do you have a diverse, you know, do you have diverse employees supporting your organization? Are you hiring people with disabilities? You know, sometimes diversity is all that you need to empower your product, your services, right? Your information. Having people with disabilities supporting, leading, and sharing their thought process can also remove some of the gaps, some of the barriers in the digital world, in the physical world, in the social world. I mean, that list can go on and on. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think that hiring people with a disability can empower organizations and businesses? Let me know in a comment. Yes, no, maybe. And it's a fair question. I had a chance to work with incredible people with disabilities, and I've learned a lot. I was supporting an organization, and that organization asked me to report the failures on their platform on a template and a document template, and they provided me with the template. I took the template and I sent it to my team, and one of the team member who is blind said that there is a problem with the template. The template is not accessible. I cannot report things on the template. I said, wait, what? Wait a minute. So we had to go back to the client and say, hey, by the way, did you know your template was not accessible? And the client was surprised. They said, oh my goodness. Oh, perhaps that's true because no one really looked at the template with a lens of inclusion, with a lens of accessibility. So really having, sometimes great people with disabilities can just empower your business to attract even this clientele with a disability, to attract this type of, disposable income, which is really huge. I mean, the list can go on and on. I see someone else sharing a comment. Diraj, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Jiraj said, yeah, I agree. But what about almost 60 to 80% of the people with disabilities doesn't even enroll in the school? What about them? Ooh, Diraj, you're pointing at something really big here. And I agree. Sometimes I hear people, leaders, developers, and many more people who have the chance to sit at the decision table saying that, but we don't have anybody with a disability sharing their thought. And Diraj, what you said is, the source of the problem. People with disabilities are facing so many barriers that even for education, they are already rejected. They are already rejected. It doesn't mean that they are not smart. It doesn't mean that they don't have any value to provide. I mean, people with disabilities are so smart. They adapt to every situation. Given the opportunity to embrace something, they will do it and they will show different ways to do things. Innovation, as we are talking about, is, if you listen to someone with a disability. I mean, I met countless people. One time I met this guy. He was a founder of the accessible map. He created a map which is much better than Google. At least it empowered those with a disability. And if you were to have trouble with your eyes, you can still use that map and it will describe things so well that you will feel like, oh my goodness, I am empowered right here. I see another comment. Let me see. I see Ariel. Again, please share your thoughts, share your question. Feel free. Ariel said, whoa, aren't those numbers enough to raise awareness on accessibility? Absolutely, yes. So, when we're talking about accessibility, if I may ask you guys, what does accessibility means to you in your own world? Can you please let me know in the comment and don't feel shy? We are not here to to debate your experience, to debate your knowledge. We are not here to judge. What does accessibility means to you? If this is a new area for you, just take a wild guess. Let me know in the comment. I see someone say something. Okay, Amy said, yes, disability is a spectrum. Everyone has a different level. A stereotype will hinder the company and potentially result in revenue loss, image loss, then lawsuit to lose more money. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing. And I agree with this statement. Again, anyone, please share. Don't feel shy, just share. What does accessibility means to you? I will share my own thought. Accessibility for me simply means providing access, welcoming everyone. It can be again in the physical world. It can be again in the digital world. We have so many platforms that are more digital nowadays. As a matter of fact, you are listening to me on a digital platform. Crazy. And also social, right? I mean, some people think that accessibility, disability inclusion, empowerment only happen on the physical and on the digital world. No, socially. You can definitely reject someone with a disability just by talking to them. I've seen people with disabilities asking for accommodation and feeling extremely nervous about asking for that accommodation. But listen, wait a minute. If you have a web developer and they were to create a website for you and they're working as an employee of your company, will you give them a computer to create the codes and push the solution forward? Will you? That's accommodation. You just give them a tool to create and empower your company. When it comes to someone with a disability asking, for example, can you provide me with a sign language, specialist so that I can communicate. And this is someone who is deaf asking for that, or someone who is blind asking, can you make sure that there is a screen reader on the computer I need to use? Or you may have a different person with low vision asking for, not to use color only, perhaps to distinguish important information on document or on website. I mean, there is a lot I can break down here for you, but let's not go too far. Accommodating someone with a disability is the same as giving a computer to a web developer. It's just providing the right tool to someone to do the job they are really good at doing and to support your company in the best way possible. This investment sometimes doesn't even cost much. I mean, you can search for tools out there. You will see some are pretty much free, but some will cost a little bit. But in the long run, the company will be so much better. Are we talking about avoiding lawsuit? Having the right people, diverse people in your company is how you can start avoiding lawsuits. You know, next month, which is October, is the National Disability Month. That is one of the biggest thing out there. I don't know. Let me see the acronym properly. I don't want to mislead you. It's called oftentimes the NDEAM, National Disability Employment Awareness Month. There you go. So if you are looking for someone to bring a shift and to bring clarity to your company, invite people who are advocating for accessibility. Invite people who perhaps have a disability so they can share their lived experience. Invite somebody who can break down the number so that your leaders, your teams, your solution become more inclusive and welcoming to everyone. And this is how you start that conversation. This is how you change the narrative. This is how you change and empower your team. Some of your team members who are creating solutions don't know much about accessibility. They don't know much about people with disabilities. They just know the guidelines and it becomes like a chore for them. I mean, I've seen people with disabilities or people who are advocating for accessibility and disability, bringing so much awareness to the team that the team just felt empowered. They were like, wait a minute, is that what accessibility is about? My grandmother has a low vision. My uncle has this. My nephew has that. It's dyslexic. Someone I know is ADHD. I mean, when you bring those narrative, I mean, even if you don't want to invest, start with speaking engagement. Just bring someone to share the knowledge with the team. You will see a big return in investment just by doing such a small thing. It's just incredible. And if you're looking for someone to talk to your team, come on, just connect with me as well. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I see a few more comments. Let me see. All right, I see Amy. Amy with an A said, accessibility is my sanity. Ah, it is just providing essential opportunities for those with disabilities, but it is empowering everyone. Everyone. I see Ariel said, is removing barriers between people and the world outside. Oh gosh, music to my ears. And I mean, if you have a business without barriers, can you imagine how much you will be attracting clients and more clients, partners, and more partners, investment and more investment. Accessibility, it's some it's a huge statement that you can put out there to say, I care, I see you, we trust you, we want you, you know? When you go and try to purchase something on a website that is not inclusive and accessible, this kind of given a bad aftertaste. It is really bad. And this is one of the biggest reasons why we have lawsuit. Now, let me just clarify quickly. Trying to avoid a lawsuit is not a good goal. It might look like a good goal because you have fire under the but it's not a good goal. Trying to avoid a lawsuit is not a good goal. First, trying. I don't like that word. Do you know why I don't like trying? Because trying doesn't feel like a commitment. It just means that we will attempt something. We're not really ready for that. We'll see what happens. When you are committed, the language is different. And even how you speak to people in your organization to embrace inclusive experiences, the language is different. They will feel more empowered when you are committed, not when you're trying. The other part of that statement is avoiding lawsuit. I don't like that statement. Now, don't get me wrong. I know for sure that there are a lot of lawsuits out there. The numbers have increased. In 2023 in the US, they had about 4,000 lawsuits, which was a little bit of a decrease and in the court, but just because many companies are now trying to settle the lawsuit outside the court. Is that a good approach to investing? No. The reason why you have a lawsuit is because your experiences online is prohibiting or rejecting people. If you start embracing ways to attract more clients, you won't have to face a lawsuit. So instead of investing in lawyers, please invest in people who can already support your organization. Speakers engagement can help, training can help, having the tools to review your website can help. Do a lot of manual testing will help. I mean, I can go on, and sometimes it doesn't even cost as much as the lawsuit, investing in lawyers. Oh goodness. I see another person share something. Diraj shared, I think people who have access to technology, who has education can use this social media platform to enable themselves. And I agree. I'm going to read even more later on, Diraj, trust me, and I'm going to respond to that comment. It's almost the end of this session, but I want to make sure that you understand that going after a goal of attracting more client is more important. Why? Because it will excite your team. They will start thinking about innovative way to create inclusive experiences. They will feel more empowered. When you bring someone with a disability talking to them, they will understand, they will ask questions, they will see exactly what is wrong. I mean, there's a lot that can be happening up there just with this shift. So in October, if you are a leader, please add in your calendar. We need to invite someone to talk about accessibility. We need to inspire our team. We need to help them create easily solutions that are inclusive by understanding what could be the barriers. Having them to go through codes and trying to figure out things is not what will help them. They need real people to come and talk to them. And then you can just dive into the training. As you saw it, $18 trillion USD, it's a big chunk of money. Money that can go toward your pocket, right? At least a percentage of it. I mean, there's a lot. But guys, let me know in the comment. Will you say that having a goal to avoid a lawsuit is better than having a goal to attract more client is better? Which one is better? A, avoiding lawsuit. B, attracting more clients. I definitely will go for B. Attracting more client is much better. I mean, even just thinking about how we can create, you know, or innovate things that are inclusive and accessible to all. It's just amazing. I remember I saw a couple of months ago a company that does makeup. Now you're gonna say makeup. What does that have to do with inclusive experiences? Well, understanding some of the client they have need to know if the makeup look good on them, and understanding that people who are blind would love to use makeup were rejected, limited. They created a solution that you can just, after putting on your makeup, you just take your phone and then you kind of, put the camera on your phone like a selfie, and a voice will tell you if the makeup was done properly. How about that? Oh my goodness, there's so much that can happen. It's just incredible. But I can tell you, having that direction, being committed, you know, attracting, and I see a few people sharing. Please feel free to share. Don't feel shy. Let me see. Okay, Justin said B, attraction wins. I'm pretty much sure that more attraction will win. Let me see. I don't see everything on the platform, but let me see in the comment. Let me know in the comment. What do you think? I see John is here. John said attracting more client is more valuable. I agree 100%. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Addressing the lawsuit is as important as well, but I think that is a reactive process. Leaders in organization need to be more proactive, and it's important. So, having approaches and techniques that will help you attract more clients is what you really want to aim for. And once you do that, trust me, lawsuit is going to be just history. All right, everyone. My name is Ingrid Laster, and I was so happy that you guys were here. If you have more comment, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I always go back and read. If you want to get in touch with me for more talk or for any reason or questions, again, feel free to message me directly or email me. I will see you next time and enjoy. Bye bye.